Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Iggy Garcia Live. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. This is episode 84, Our Dreams. Hopefully you're able to stick around here for the next hour or so with me, and I want to be sharing a little bit about what's been going on in my life and what's been going on here recently in our dreamlands and things we're going. But like we start every show, we light the ancestral candle, giving thanks to our ancestors. Couldn't have been a more appropriate show today to actually light a candle and give thanks to our ancestors for all the things that they have taught us, all the things that they passed down, all the things that we like and dislike about ourselves, and all the things that we like about the world and dislike about the world. You know, there's part of them in us, and part of us and whoever else is we've helped create. And then if we're not creating anybody, in the sense of procreation, we are creating and helping other people to grow. We're helping other people to see life a little differently. So I give thanks to my ancestors, all my family members, and everybody who came before me and who sacrificed and gave what they had to give. So this candle's for them. We'll light that and keep that going as the show continues. Also, we like to light a little bit of sage, white sage, just to purify and cleanse the space. I love this stuff, so good. If you have sage, go ahead and use that. I'll let this burn. And that's for the cleansing. And then Palo Santo to top it off and finish the work. It's really good stuff. Ah, man, that smells great. Whew. I love it, I love it, I love it. Let those things go. A little bit of agua florida, just to kind of spice me up a little bit. Get things going here a little bit. Put them behind your ears, across your nose, on your head. Just get it all going. Good old shaman water, they call it. I want to say hello to everybody who's popping in. Thank you for coming in today. So, today, I made these bracelets actually for sale that I'll be selling in shows when I get ready. These are for your wrists, different sizes for men and women. These are all from repurposed and recycled materials that I buy. So all kinds of cool stuff. So I've been making videos for like the last 13 days. Most of you have been following, some of you have not. Those of you who have not followed and maybe don't even know about these videos are actually 365 days of getting fit. It sounds like a big daunting task when you have to decide to do something every day to get yourself fit. But if you think about it, if you're fortunate enough, every day you wake up for 365 days in 1 year, correct? So you're doing something. You're going to the bathroom, taking a shower, you're eating, you're driving, you're doing some kind of activity. So most of us think that activity is like something that we have to be make a chore or some kind of thing that we do. But no, it's not like that. Basically what it is, it's just finding things that help you move your heart rate, helps you burn a little sweat. It could be an exercise. It can be an event. Today, I built a snowman. Yes, I built a little mini snowman. He's probably half my size. But I tell you, it was a lot of work pushing that snow because it was wet too. So as you're pushing it, I was gonna make a really big one, but it didn't work out because it was just getting too muddy. And so that's what I did. So they say you can form a habit in 21 days. So I'm almost there forming this habit. But I figured I'll make myself accountable. I make myself accountable to do something every single day that will force me to get in the frame of mind of taking care of my health, taking care of my body, taking care of who I am and what's happening. And so that's kind of where I've been, and that's kind of the journey that I'm on this particular season of the year. And hopefully that continues on for the rest of my life to keep doing something different every day. There is a day where I take a break, and that's usually either on a Sunday or Monday. I think I took Monday off. I just had a little break, just chilled, let the body rest. And you know, it's been kind of exciting journey and being able to do this exercises and doing these different modalities, these different types of practices. You know, so I'm really looking forward to swimming and karate and Zumba and all these cool things. You know, I was gonna go cross country skiing today, and time ran out on me. So basically, it got a little dark. So these are just the things. We have to use our creativity. We have to use our mind. We have to be kind of sharp about it. We got to go out and just try something different, because that's life, right? If you're in the moment and you work hard and you do it, you'll do things. So that's what I've been doing for the last 14 days. And so I'm really excited for those of you who follow along. If you like the videos, comment on the videos. Let me know. If you have an idea for me to do something, let me know. You know, these are the kind of things that I want to do. So I'm really excited about that. Now, later on today, I'm going to be doing some readings from these cards. I am going to pick one today, just to kind of get our show off to start. Just going to shuffle them here a little bit. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Every day I'm shuffling, shuffling. And that way we can draw a card. All right. And here we go. The card that I drew for today's show is dun 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 Badger. The Badger card. The Badger card is about perseverance, dig in and see it through to completion. Wow, that's a powerful card. So a badger is a looks within creature. It's a creature on the south side of the medicine wheel, which is a burrowing creature, which is about the skin, the bones, and the muscles, about who we are. And it means to just kind of make sure we take care of ourselves. And that's kind of where I'm at. And this is kind of where some of you are at. And this is where some of you are thinking about being, where you want to move into that space, you know, to better your life. And, you know, it's not hard to get back in shape. What's hard is making the commitment to get back in shape. And that's where I'm at. I made the commitment. I'm working on the commitment to do better. You know, I used to be one of those fit guys. I used to be one of those guys who play a lot of soccer, used to play a lot of sports, and I could eat anything, and I can go through everything. So, but now, my life's different. My body's changed, my chemistry's changed, and everything about me is a little bit different than it used to be. So, that's where we are with the 365 days of getting fit. All right, so the topic of our show today is our dreams. So dreams are something that is very personal, something that is very unique, something that's very much us, something that's very part of our psyche, part of our mental capacity in what we do. There's different types of dreams, and I'm talking, you know, I'll be talking about both of these dreams, about the literal dreams that we dream when we're sleeping, and the literal dreams of things that we want to accomplish, things that we want to actually obtain, things that will drive us and motivate us to get to the place to be where we want to be. So I'd like to share with you, all right, a dream I had last night. All right, this dream is very powerful to me. It's a very full of messages, very full of a whole bunch of stuff. So, like every day, you go to bed, you know, I worked out, drink some water, you know, brush your teeth, you know, just the normal stuff. And then eventually you go to sleep. I went to sleep. And then all of a sudden I was in dreamland. The crazy thing about being in this dreamland in this moment, it was a very lucid dream. It was very, 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 very real. I mean, it's like as real as I'm talking to you. And there was no fog, there was no mist, there was no nothing like that. It was just real. Dreams, who's to say that where we're dreaming is not real? It is. There is an actual realm of the dreaming, and there's actually realms inside of our brain, inside of the capacity of our mind, that we just don't understand. Science tries to explain and tries to tell us what's happening, but that's all of the mumbo jumbo. That when you're actually dreaming, and when you're actually visualizing and seeing these things, it's real. There are stories of people falling out of bed and feel like they're falling and they end up on the floor. There are people who have had heart attacks because they had a heart attack in the other dream. There's all kinds of stories. You've heard it all. It's nothing that I'm going to be talking about you've not heard of. So I'm having this dream, and I'm in my old house here in Indiana near the OSU campus, and I'm in the room which belonged actually to my mother. It was my mother's beauty salon. It was actually her salon when she used to do hair. She was a cosmetologist, for many years before she owned the restaurant. And so I'm in this dream, and this is the room where my daughter used to sleep, and this is also the room where my son's stepson sleeps now, and his name is Madden. And so I'm on this bed, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear these noises, like outside of the door. And I hear this voice tell me, shut the door, shut the door. And so I go to the door and I shut the door. And of course the door is much smaller than the frame in the door. So there's a gap between the door all the way around. And there's this little mini door on it. And I'm going, what the heck is this? I'm like, I can't shut the door. They can still get in. This is what I'm telling myself. They can still get in. And I'm going, oh my goodness. So what do I do? And so I started to take other doors and pieces of boards and just different plywoods, and I started to prop them up. I said, so if anybody tries to get in here, what's going to happen is they're going to have to knock all this stuff over, and they're going to have to move all this stuff, and it's going to have to fall down, and it'll alert me to, who's going to get in. Now, most of you don't realize that someone broke into my house several weeks, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they tried to hurt me. Who knows? And the police could do nothing about it because I couldn't see their face. So maybe that's part of that dream. Maybe that's part of that, to be secure and to be safe. I don't know. So I'm dreaming this, and all of a sudden, I feel kind of safe. But I'm looking through the door, through the panels where I've set up all the wood, and I recognize the hall. The big room is my old house where I lived for 17 years on Henderson Road, and it was the main great room. I could see the fireplace, and I could see everything, and I'm peeking through there and looking through there, and I'm going, wow, that's odd. And I'm in the Indiana house, and now I'm in Henderson house. So how's that possible? But it didn't matter. It didn't really worry me. And then I look over to the dresser. There's a dresser there where there's a mirror, but the mirror is half mirror. There's like a part of a mirror. So part of the mirror is there, and the other half is gone. So there's like a mini mirror of sorts. And then I look down, and if you look on my Facebook page, you'll see that there's a little bumblebee, like a pool toy, and it's like an old 1970s toy. And the little antennas, the little bumblebee has a little like wire antenna, a little string. You pull it, and it click, 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 click. It clicks. There's also a picture of a phone. It looks like a little Tykes phone or something like that. Remember those old phones as kids? Some of us had them, and some of us didn't. So both these objects are on the dresser, and I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and I'm going, well, that's weird. Why is that phone ringing? And the phone is ringing, and I'm looking at the phone going, well, that's weird. So I have like this weird vibe about going up to the phone, and then I answer the phone, and I go, hello? Hola, hijito. I said, papi? Is that you? Yes, hijito, it's me. My dad is calling me on this phone. He's talking to me in my dream, in this lucid dream, to me. He goes, hijito. And I'm going, and I start crying. I'm like, oh my God. It's just like, it's just, I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing? I wanted to call you and say hello. He calls me in my dream. And I'm like, totally like, I'm like frozen in my dream, like listening to my dad's voice talking to me. I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing? I just wanted to let you know I love you. He told me you want to know I love you. And he's like, and he also said, I want you to know that you're okay to be your own man now. You don't need me anymore. I'll always be here, but you don't need me. And it was like, man, I was like, my heart was just going, I was like, man, Dad, I'm 53 years old, and it's like you took me back to little kid. You know, I'm thinking, what little kid doesn't want their parent if they have a good relationship with their parent or just want to see their parent? And so I'm talking to my dad, and then he says bye, and then I hang up, and then I'm going back, and I'm going, what the heck was that? And then I look down, and I see a little box about this big, and it's actually an answering machine. You know those old ones with the tapes on it? You know, the little tape, the cassette tapes? And I'm going, well, that's weird. I haven't seen one of those in a while. And so I'm pushing the button, and I hear all these voices in these conversations. I don't know who they are, and I didn't recognize any of them. And, I kept playing back, and I was fiddling around with that for a little bit. And then the phone rings again. And I'm like, hello? Olejito. I said, Papi? Yeah, it's Papi. And so he's talking to me. We're having this conversation, and I'm talking to him, and I said, Papi, what are you doing? And then didn't say anything. It was quiet. And so I thought he hung up, so I put the phone back down, and then I walk over to the bed, and then I sit on the bed, and I lift the pillow up, and I look under the pillow, and inside of a plastic bag are all these pictures, these black and white pictures of family members and stuff. There's this one picture of my uncle who was actually the person who hurt me as a child. And I'm looking at the picture, why is his picture in here? And who are these people? I don't even know these people. And so, as the day went on, I was processing and thinking, so this is pictures maybe of people who hurt him, or maybe these are people where the lineage, this is the opportunity for me to be able to heal these people and heal these pieces and parts of me that were wounded as a child. And then I look over at the phone, and I see the little bumblebee thing, and then I walk up to the phone, and I pick it up. It didn't ring. I just picked it up. Hello? Olejito. I said, Papi. Papi, I have a question for you. So I'm talking about this, and I said, ¿Qué pasa, hijito? He goes, what's the matter? He goes, I said, Papi, what happened? He goes, what happened to you? I asked him what happened. What happened to him, meaning what happened to him at the restaurant? What happened to him? I wanted to know. I wanted answers. And he goes, Hijito, we were eating hamburgers. That's what he said. He told me that. He says, they were eating hamburgers. It wasn't he was eating hamburgers. He said they were eating hamburgers. I said, they were eating hamburgers. What do you mean by eating hamburgers? And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's odd. That's an odd thing to say. And he goes, I said, so what happened? He goes, I don't remember. He goes, I don't remember. Everything happened so fast and so quick. The only thing I remember was waking up in the hospital. He told me that. And then I said, who was it? And he told me these names, but I'm not going to say them on the air. It's for me personally. But he told me what he thought were the people that hurt him. And so I was like, whoa, that's really deep. I was like, oh my God. I was just like, it was crazy. It was crazy to hear your dad's voice. I mean, as clear as I'm talking to you on this podcast. And then I hung up the phone. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like contemplating and wondering, and what the heck was that all about? And then all of a sudden, I decide to go pick up the phone one more time. It didn't ring. I picked it up. I said, hello? He said, hola, hijito. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm talking to you. He told me I'm talking to me. And things are coming back to me because there are some things that I had forgotten. And I said, Papi, where are you? What are you doing? He goes, I'm okay. I'm in a good place. That's exactly what he said. I said, what do you mean? He goes, oh, I'm going to show you. He said, I'm going to show you. And so I don't know how he did it, but then I saw my dad. I physically saw him, and I'm like, whoa, Pop, Papi? I'm like, what is this place? And he goes, well, look around. He says, look around. And so I started looking around. I see this little boy climbing on my dad. He's got a cowboy hat on and these blue jeans. I said, Papi, who's that? He goes, oh, that's your Uncle Carlos. I said, my Uncle Carlos? He goes, yeah, that's your Uncle Carlos. I go, but he's a little boy. He goes, yeah, because he wanted to be a little boy again. he wanted to come back as a little boy. He wanted to incarnate himself in this safe place as a little boy. And so I'm like, wow, that's pretty powerful. So and then I look around and I see all these people who I've never met before. And then all of a sudden, I see my grandma Kucha. My grandma Kucha is in the middle of the room, and she's laughing and giggling. She's got her hands like this, holding it, and she's looking at everybody, and everybody's laughing with her. And everybody's so happy. The joy is so amazing. It's like being in one of those soda fountains, those old-fashioned soda fountain places, because that's what my dad loved. He loved soda fountain places. The soda jerk type places. And I see my grandmother, and I see these other elders, and I'm thinking, these are my ancestors. These are all my people. These are all the people in my life, and these are all people who have come before me. And I started to cry in the dream. I was just like, but it was a happy cry. It wasn't like a fearful cry. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. I can't believe what I'm looking at. If you're on Instagram, there's the filters that you can change the colors of the filters, and it looks like one of those darker filters, but with brightness. Like it was really bright, and it looked like it was almost like in Technicolor. You know what Technicolor is? That old-fashioned bright color, and that's what it felt like. I felt like I was in like an old movie with just been put into Technicolor. And I'm looking at this. I'm going, wow, this is beautiful. Hijito. He goes, what? He goes, it's not your time, Hijito. He goes, one day you'll be here, but not right now. He told me that. And I'm going, oh my God. And then I close my eyes in this dream, and then I open them up, and then I'm in this office, and believe it or not, this guy who looks like John Goodman, he had like a gun. He had those glasses. It looked like a scene out of a movie, and and he's pointing it at me, and I got a gun, and then this other guy's got a gun, and then I'm like walking out, and then I shut the door, and they start to shoot, and I start to shoot, and there's nothing. No bullets are hitting anybody, but he's mad. Like he's mad at me. Like he's angry. And then there's a crack through the door, and then all of a sudden someone throws me an airsoft gun. You know those little airsoft guns with the little white pellets, and I'm shooting, and he's laughing. That doesn't hurt. Those are just airsoft gun. And I'm going, wow, this is bizarro world dream. I just went from being in a projective heaven or whatever that was, and now I'm in this weird, this cascade of weirdness dream. Then all of a sudden I fade out of that, and I start walking down this hallway, which looks like my old elementary school, and I see this man in a trench coat. Like he almost like a Dick Tracy type, no hat. He had like short hair, and he's walking. There's this other little guy, and that little boy was like a little man, and they're walking towards me, and I'm going, well, this is really weird. I don't know what's going to happen next. But then I start to walk towards him, and we're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And then he turns, and then I turn, and we walk, and he walks back like this. And then I walk around, and he turns around, keeps walking. It's almost like he was just he was checking me out, It was kind of weird. It was wild. And then I woke up, I'm going, and I had my hands on my head like this. That was trippy, wild, and that was the most beautiful dream that I've had ever in a long time. And then I look through the mirror by my bed, and I see this thing moving, like waving, and then I look, and there's nothing there, and then I look in the mirror again, and I see like this moving, like somebody moving a sheet, almost like something is like levitating. And then my phone has it has a ring on it, the front door of the house, so it'll tell me if someone's at the door, so it rings. And then I look on it, and I don't see anybody. But then all of a sudden I see this orb, and it lands on top of the tree, and it's just sitting there on the tree. And it's just, and it's in black and white. And I'm looking, going, wow, this is in this world. And I'm going, this is really wild. This is some crazy stuff. What is going on? And then I'm like, and I'm not scared. And and you hear every creak and every sound in the house is just making you wonder, what's happening. Like everything you could possibly, your ears, everything was just heightened for me at that moment, that I just had to lay there and just like try to fall back asleep because there was too much. But that was the dream, guys. That was the dream I had about my father. And this is a way, I haven't really been looking for a way to communicate with him. But I knew that he would communicate with me. But it's funny that he picked this toy that I loved as a kid. These two toys. I love that phone and I love that bumblebee. Don't ask me why. You know, as a kid, you just like certain things and you're attached to them, and those are the things that you find connection with. And that's what I did. I found connection with these things. And so I'm thinking to myself, what was that all about? At first I thought it was a bumblebee phone. Then it made clear. It got clearer as I did some research, as I worked through, you know, the pictures, looking for these figures, and then that's how I figured out what it was. So my dad is communicating through me through a phone, a toy phone that was part of my childhood, and he was communicating to me and letting me know that he was okay, letting me know that he's with people that love him, letting me know that I can talk to him whenever I want. And it's just really wild. And it was just amazing. I was just blown away by this dream. And I've had dreams with things, and I've had dreams with my dad, but this one was just like his voice. It was just like so powerful. When my dad calls you, you know, my dad doesn't call you to bother you. My dad calls because he wants something or he wants to hang out with you. And so when my dad calls, it was like really powerful. And when I heard his voice, I knew it was my dad. It was like no question whatsoever that it was my father. And he is just like, you know, if I call him, he's like, hello, you know. But he just wanted to make sure that I was okay. And I did ask him about my mom, and she said she's fine. She's just not here right now. She's off doing what she wants to do. So I was really proud of my mom. She's off doing what she wants to do finally. You know, she gets to be, you know, do whatever she wants to do on the other side of whatever that existence is, or whatever that looks like. But it was pretty cool and it was pretty trippy. So if you know anything about dream interpretation, some of you probably do. Dream interpretation, there's a 50-50 rule on dream interpretation. 50% of the dream is yours. 50% of the dream is to be interpreted and to be analyzed, or maybe not to be analyzed at all, just to be, you know, part of the filler. But 50% of that dream is a message to myself, a message from spirit, message from my dad, message from my ancestors. The other 50% is I have to figure out what the story is, what the message is, and what it meant, what it means to me, and why I had to hear what I had to hear. One of the most profound things was that, you know, my father was a big part of my life. My mother was a big part of my life. But my dad was my father. He was very big. You know, he was a small man, a little bit bigger than me, but he was big. You know what I'm saying? He was just energetically big. You know, his energy was big energy. And when he walked into a room, you knew he walked into a room. He captivated the room. Regardless if he opened his mouth or not, he just had that presence about him. And so, you know, knowing that about my dad and knowing about this dream, it was just crazy. It was just wild. And, you know, I was glad to have that dream. I was really, because the day before, I was wondering, you know, about what was going on. You know, and I've been doing better since my dad passed away, doing pretty good, and moving into the space that I need to move into. But it takes a while. Grieving is a personal journey, and grieving happens in many different forms and many different ways for everybody. But for me, this grieving process has been very difficult the last year. But, you know, if you remember from the last podcast, I was talking about how I was getting ready to get back into shape, and I was ready to do the work that I needed to do, and then tragedy hit, and then I just totally went into my shell. Well, I'm starting to come out of my shell, a lot coming out of my shell, a lot more, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing for myself, for my health, and for me, because for so many years I have done so much for everybody who I know, but not that I was looking for rewards or accolades. You know, sometimes you want that, but sometimes it's not important. But then you realize, you know, even though you help people, it's about you. It's you helping them because they're just another version of yourself. And so this dream was really intense and very powerful and very, 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 very important to me. And I recorded it and I wrote it down because this is something for me to analyze and work on. So the dreams that we have every night, sometimes we dream, sometimes we don't. But most of the time we're dreaming regardless if we remember or not. There is something going on in our brain chemistry that causes us to see visualizations and to move into spaces and places. And so For me, dreams are significant. They're very powerful. They send messages, especially in the work that I do personally in the shamanic realm and the work that I do. Trying to interpret other people's dreams and what they think their interpretation is and what it means to them is important. But I'm also here to remind you about the dreams that we have in this plane, in this particular world, in this particular existence of who we are. There's so many of us who want to have things and we want to create things, but we lack the discipline of writing it down. We lack the discipline of being current with what we're writing. And the biggest thing is when we do have a dream, is it big enough to propel us? Big enough to propel us into the position where we want to grow, in the position where we want to expand. Our dreams have to be so powerful and so big to move us out of places in things, out of ruts and things that we're in. Because if it doesn't, then the dream's not big enough. It's not powerful enough. So these dreams that we write and these dreams that we have about what we want in our lives to change, to be different, it's super, super, super important to know that our dreams have to be huge, so powerful. And so, like, for example, this dream was really huge for me. So this dream is, and that's correct. It is a visitation, and I did have a visitation from my ancestors and from my father. And so it was really cool, especially when you're in alignment in doing this kind of work, and this stuff is possible and these things will work. But also in our real world, in our real life, we have dreams that are outside of our dreamland. We have dreams of things that we want to accomplish, things that we wish we could do. But every day, someone always telling us and teaching us what to do, not to do. Our dreams have to be so huge in a way that it doesn't matter what anybody tells you or belittles you or pounds you, that your dream has to supersede the things that these people or other people are trying to force upon you. Most people knock other people's dreams down is because their dream isn't big enough. And, they don't have enough willpower, or they don't have the desire to see someone else succeed. Success is based on whatever you feel is good for you and what's in alignment with you. Some people will sacrifice things. Some people will move things out of their way. Some people will, do away with relationships and different, people who are in their lives. That's really up to you how you're going to function if the dream is big enough and powerful enough. So all these dreams, all these things are very similar in the way they work because they're messages to ourselves. In the dream world, the 3D world, we create dreams so they can fold us and mold us and push us in a direction so we can do better. The dreams that we have in the dreamland are also messages to help us move forward in the directions of healing. Because now we have these messages. Now, how do we heal? What was the message? What was the core message through this? Was there any message? Was it just an insight? Was it just a moment to glimpse at something that you weren't able to do in the real world? Because sometimes we have to let the ego rest and we have to let our heart, subside a little bit, just sleep a little bit so we can step into that astral projection, that field, that lucid dream world, and go into that place that's very, very powerful. Our dreams, are very prophetic. There's things that come in those dreams that help us mold us in this real world that is today. And it could be one word, it can be one phrase, one sentence that's said to you in that dream that forever changes your life. So hopefully you're able to move into a place that, is opening up doors for you, opening up things for you to see life differently and better. Now, most of you here, I don't know everybody here online, but most of you I do know. And some of you have expressed the things that you want to change in your life. Some of you have expressed things that you wish were different. I think we all wish something was different in our lives. I think we all wish that we could do something a little bit more exciting, to see life a little bit more differently. But are we willing to sacrifice and give up certain things to do that? Sometimes we are, and sometimes we're not. It really depends where we are in that moment. So don't discount your dreams, the ones that are in this 3D world, and don't discount the dreams that are in your dream world when you cross over. There is no difference between the dreams. They are real to you. They mean something to you. They are something that actually works in our favor. There's something that helps us to do better. And so this dream is the dream that I had last night is to help me do better. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it in a positive light. I'm looking at it in a way that's good for me. So hopefully when you have your dreams and you need some interpretation, first try to interpret it yourself. And then you can find someone like myself or somebody else who can interpret the dreams for you and can give you a better direction in what it means. Even the person who interprets dreams like myself, or, you know, who does intuitive reads, sometimes we have to have other intuitives, other psychics or other persons to interpret things for us. And, you know, part of this is my journey to ask the right questions to the right people. And that's what I'm going to be doing, because this dream's really moved me. This dream really hit something in my core. It moved something very powerful in there that I wasn't expecting for it to move. I wasn't expecting that, and it did happen. All right, so that was my dream, and I know some of you guys have some wild dreams too, and some experiences that you'd like to share. I know it's not the easy format to share on Facebook Live, but what we're going to do now is we're going to pick cards, all right? Those of you who want a reading, all right? I want you to pick a card 1 through 10 tonight, okay? Just pop on the screen there and just give me a number 1 through 10, and I'll filter through the cards, and I'll do my best to give you an intuitive read. This is a popcorn read, so this isn't going to be very deep and elaborate. If you want to continue the read and want to go a little deeper, then send me a message, get a hold of me, and I'll work with you. Okay, Sherry and Amber, so we'll go with, let's see, with Sherry. She said 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, here we go. Sherry, you pick the koala. Empathy. Speak less and listen more. Okay, can you see that card? There it is, little koala. Okay, Sherry, so I picked this card, and I'm looking at it, and it's the koala. If you know anything about the koala, it's actually a very quiet creature. Doesn't say a whole lot per se, but I'm sure if it's angry, you probably wouldn't know. But this one's saying to listen more, to speak less. So basically what's happening here, Sherry, is koala's telling you that there's messages coming your way, but you being in your own way, you're not getting the messages, because right now you're so angry and frustrated and bothered by things that are happening in your life, which rightfully so, and you're allowed to feel that way. But when you're ready to listen, and when you're ready to have empathy and understanding for yourself especially, and for other people, then the messages will come. The things will become clear. You'll start to see life a little bit more like the koala. You won't be so dependent on other people. You'll be more dependent on how you embrace the tree, how you embrace, you know, the food that you eat, the eucalyptic there, you know. So listen more, speak less, be more empathetic to others and yourself, especially to you. All right, Sherry, that's your read. All right, let me go back down the list here. I believe we have Amber. Okay, you want card 9. These cards won't repeat because I'm going to leave them out of the deck. Card 9, card 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, so Amber, you have the beaver. Productiveness, go ahead and just do it. Okay, so right now it's about the beaver. It's about creating and building a solid foundation for yourself. But it's also a reminder. The beaver is here to remind you to also build your solid, productive foundation in a place where it's going to benefit, where it's going to grow, where it's not going to stifle, where it's not going to dam up per se. Because, you know, beavers dam things up, but they reroute. Even though they dam them, things get rerouted, things get changed. Whatever you decide to do, you're going to change and alter the course of whatever you've already decided. Okay, so when you build this and just do it, don't hesitate, build it. Have empathy, have direction, have decisiveness when you build this thing. Whatever you're going to build, whatever you're going to create, okay, beavers just remind you, stay fluid, be in the water. Just be flexible to move and to be in the space that will help you to better guide you. When you get dammed up, just know that there's different routes and different ways to go. So be like the beaver, build a strong foundation, move into the right place, the right frame of mind, and things will work out. All right. Let's see. We got Rob. Rob, you want number 5. All right, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5. All right. You picked the Cougar. Confidence. Be bold and take charge. All right, Rob. This is yours. Okay, this is a very good card. So the Cougar is telling you here is one thing. To have confidence, to be bold and take charge. But it's also here to remind you, when you have confidence, to be humble about it, to be respectful of other people, take charge, and understand that when you take in charge, you're not taking charge in the sense of stepping over people or knocking people out of the way. You're taking charge for yourself. You're moving yourself in the right direction to help you benefit in the ways that are good for everybody involved, not just you. Okay, so when you take charge, people will see that you have stepped into your own power, that you stepped into the place where you need to be, and you're working in the right directions to make things better for yourself. Okay, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say yes or no to people when they come in there. And you don't really need to give people an explanation of your yes or your no. Just know when you say that, when you step into your boldness, you step into your power, that you have created healthy limits and boundaries for yourself and other people. Okay. So that's your read, Rob. Okay, let's see who's next here. Okay, we got Connie. All right, Connie, you want the 5 draw. All right, here we go. Here we go. Moving down the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, here we go. Giraffe foresight, you are able to see what is in store for the future. So Connie, this is the giraffe card. This is a ceasefire card. This is looking into the future and having the ability to see what you want, but also being able to move into a direction that is positive for you versus negative. You're going to have some things that are going to come in your path, some things that are going to challenge you a little bit. But since you have the direction, you have the place where you know where you want to be, those things aren't going to be such a huge burden or challenge for you. Because if you're long like the giraffe and you're going to see over the things, you know that things are bugging you, things are going to get in your way, but you're determined and you're moving in that place where you can see things much better for you. You have the goal in mind, you have the dream in mind to put you in that place. Not going to be easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's not going to be hard. Okay, so Connie, that's your read. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, let's see. Patty, all right, you want number 2 card. Okay, number 2. 1, 2. All right, Patty, you pulled the coyote. Wise fool, accept your follies, find the teachings in them. Okay. So, Patty, here's the thing. The coyote is just here to tell you that you are the perfect version of yourself right now. You don't have to go out of your way to try to be something else or anybody else. Not that you're doing that, but sometimes, the grass looks greener on the other side. And so be wise with the things that you're learning. Accept that, you're going to have bad days. Accept that, sometimes even though we're dealt a certain hand, a certain card, that card doesn't necessarily define you or tell you that that's how you're going to be. Okay, the coyote, some people call it the trickster. I don't know if it's really a trickster card per se. I don't feel any trickster energy per se. The coyote is just very opportunist. Okay, so when the opportunities come to you and they fall in your lap, be able to move with them with grace. And so you're going to have some opportunities come with you, and just be wise about how to approach them. Don't discount them. Really analyze them. Be really focused on what they mean to you and how you're going to move through that. All right, let's see. Krista, you want 10 cards. You had to go to 10, didn't you? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here is 10. All right, Krista. Now I know why you got the 10 card. The eagle, spirit, trust in your higher self. All right, Krista. So basically, Spirit is saying, you know, trust in the process. Trust the process, because you know what? You're in it. You're flowing through it. You've spread your wings. You've made a commitment. And you know what? If you're ever in doubt, just ask for a higher self to give you the answers that you're looking for. Now, being at the peak and looking down, you're able to observe the things that don't serve you. And of course, you're doing a very good job of that right now and moving out of the space and the energy. But it also is telling you to also be observant in your new surrounding, also to be present and focused in your new environment that you're going to be in, because your new environment also involves people. And you know what happens when you involve people. They have their opinions, their projections, and all the things that come with that. Just because you're moving into a better place doesn't mean that where you're moving is going to be perfect. But we make it as best we possibly can. So basically what the ego's telling you is have the foresight, ask for higher guidance when you're not sure about something, because the higher guidance will always guide you in the right way. Higher guidance will never tell you to wear this shirt because this shirt looks nicer than that shirt. No, that's how you'll know the difference between higher self, the message from higher self, and from Great Spirit. Hopefully that works for you. All right, let's see. Now we're moving on. Let's see if I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody? All right. Oh, Kate, you want number 8? Kate is number 8. Okay, here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. All right, Kate. You drew the dragonfly. Illusions. You know who you really are. Bum, bum, bum. Boy, that's a difficult card. No, it's not a difficult card. All right, so you drew the dragonfly. The dragonfly is actually a very powerful medicine. If you know anything about dragonfly medicine, it's probably the closest thing to hummingbird medicine. Both these creatures can move side to side. We had a conversation in the class about the hummingbird going backwards. Well, so can the dragonfly. The dragonfly can go up, down, move around like this. But here's the cool thing about dragonfly. It's here to remind you that you have been in another existence prior to the one you're in now. Okay? Before you were an aquatic bug, you were in the realm of the parent, realm of the people who raised you. Okay? And now you're moving out of that. Even as you may think you're an adult, you're still moving through this. You're moving out of the illusion that was created for you, and you're moving into this new reality of how you want to live, how you want to be. But it's difficult because you're still attached to the illusion of the things that you think mold you or make you. They're only there to push you into the direction you have to be. Those things in the past are memories, but they don't own you. So as you move it like the butterfly, then you come into the new incarnation of the dragonfly. Okay, when you move into dragonfly energy, now it's time for you to recreate the reality that you want and how you want it to look. Will it be easy? Will it be hard? Well, that's up to you. That's really how you want to manifest. I'm a firm believer that things don't have to be difficult. They can be if you want them to be, but they don't have to be difficult. But here's the cool part about this thing is you were here, you were in the water stage, now you're in the air stage. You can just blow things away. Before, things were just drowning. But now you can never go back, because it won't serve you to go back. No matter how hard you want to go back into the water, no matter how hard you want to go back into the safety of those things, you're flying now. You're moving, you're landing, you're eating differently, you're manifesting differently, you're creating differently. The things that once serve you no longer serve you. So now you're moving into a new space, place, in a new frame of mind. So Kate, I hope that card makes sense to you. All right, let's see who else is up here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. All right, let's see. I'm looking. I believe I got everybody read, didn't I? Yeah, I believe I got everybody. I got to read for everybody. That's good. So if you want a reading, let me know. Just pop in here. I'll give you a card. These are popcorn readings. These readings actually go a little deeper than what I'm kind of giving you. But this is just kind of a glimpse of where you're going to go and what's happening in your life. All right. So it doesn't mean it's etched in stone. No matter what I give you, no matter what I read to you, no matter what I'm saying to you, you have to be able to break the story down and move the story, interpret the story of these cards. When I read these cards, it's a visual. It's a glimpse into a potential future. It's a glimpse into something that may or may not be, or may be. But remember, your destiny is your destiny. Hi, Beth. Your destiny is your destiny. So you can actually experience your destiny the way you want to experience it. Two things that you cannot change: you were born and your death. Those are two things that just you have no control over. There's just, you're going to be born and you're going to die. And like I say in every show, I think I've said in every show, how you experience your destiny in the middle is up to you. You get to do whatever you want. Now, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be hard. It's usually not going to be easy because we get in our own way. I get in my own way. I come up with so many excuses sometimes and some illusions and fears about what happens and why I'm moving in a certain direction. But that's what happens. If you want to move into a place of enlightenment, well, understand that you have enlightened moments. Not that you're walking in enlightenment. Oh, I'm glowing, man. No, man. You walk into an enlightened moment. You have an aha moment. Oh, wow, man, that was prophetic. Like my dream. That was an aha moment. That dream that I talked about I had last night, that is an aha moment. That's a moment where I moved into a space of reality for myself. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a good thing or bad thing. We just move into places and spaces when we need to. Now, it serves us to be also grounded in the body, grounded in our mind, grounded in this energy of the 3D plane so we can exist in it, so we don't look so, and we're not so out of place in it. Could you imagine going, oh, so love and light. Oh, you know, I know people like this, okay? And you know what? It works for them. It don't work for me. I'm sorry. I can't walk around like that. That's just doesn't, to me, that just seems out of touch. I have to be able to communicate and talk to the people who are in the 3D plane so they can relate, so that I can have a conversation with them, so they can feel and they can understand that I'm not above or below, that I'm your brother, I'm your sister, and, you know, vice versa. We are all one, all my relations. You bleed, I bleed. You know, you go to the bathroom, you shower, you eat, I eat. We all the same. Okay, so I'm not here to promote anybody over anybody. I just know that some people just have more knowledge than other people. Some people have studied. Some people have gone out of their way to just experience other experiences that you have not experienced, that you may never experience, that you may not even care to experience. And that's the cool thing about being who you are. That's the cool thing about having your own personal dreams, is that you want to be what you want to be, not what somebody else wants you to be. You have to be what you are. And if you're not who you want to be, it's going to be very difficult to be in a good frame of mind. You know, feel the bliss, the joy, the happiness, and all that stuff. It's going to be hard. So you have to be you. No matter how hard or how much you want to be something else, you want to learn to be something else, and you want to be enlightened or awakened. Did you wake up today? Yes, Iggy, I woke up today. Then you're awakened, okay? You can't have it any better than that. Today, you were awakened, all right? You had an epiphany to wake up because you probably had to go to the bathroom. You probably had to pee this morning, and you're probably late for work or whatever. But you have awakened moments, enlightened moments. These are moments that, boom, we feel it, we know it. And when we can talk to somebody, have you ever had a conversation where you just talk about anything and it just comes out of your mouth and just flows, and you're like, where did that come from? And then you try to go back and remember what you said, and you can't remember a damn thing. And you're going, what the heck was that? That's an awakened, enlightened moment. And it's okay to be a human being and not be enlightened and awakened. It's okay to feel the body. It's okay to feel the frustration. It's okay to know. What we need to work on, what we should try to work on, is to move in a better space for us to move out of that space quickly as possible. It's easy for us to fall into the traps of our own stories. It's easy to fall into the traps of the things that hold us back. It's easy to complain about all the things that are wrong in our lives. It's easy to complain about all the things and all the bad things that happen to us. Yeah, okay, a lot of bad things has happened to a lot of bad people, and I'm not discounting any of that, because that's what's molded you and made you who you are. But are you ready to move into a better place, in a better frame of mind? What would your perfect dream world look like? What would it be? what would you do? And why aren't you doing it? What is it that you're waiting for? You know, I saw a meme the other day where somebody posted, I have $1.95 in my bank account, and here I am looking on Zillow at properties worth millions of dollars. I thought it was kind of funny, you know, looking for that land, you know. But you know, here's the thing, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to be alone in this journey. There are other people, like-minded people like you, who want to do similar things, who want to have an intentional community, who want to build this idea or that idea, foster this or that. That's how things are built. One person doesn't usually build the world or build ideas. It's usually a collaboration of a lot of people. Usually there's one person who is the main person, because they're the ones with the vision of it. And then he has to bring, or she has to bring, a whole bunch of other people into the group, because they need a gardener, they need somebody to tend to the lawn, they need somebody for the marketing. You know, nobody who's made millions and billions of dollars did it by themselves. They'll be the first to tell you that they had a lot of help. They may have gone out of business 50 times, but one thing stuck. They threw so much mud on the wall, which you and I may not be willing to do, okay? And I hate to be like that. Most people aren't willing to throw a lot of mud on the wall and to see what sticks. And that's why a lot of people give up, because they've thrown so much mud on the wall and nothing is sticking. But what they haven't realized is they have learned so much in the process, and learning so much in where they're going, in the direction they're moving, because they took the time to throw a lot of mud on the wall, okay? And eventually what they've done is they've created and fertilized. You know, what happens to that mud? It dries and falls to the ground, and then it creates a whole new breeding ground for ideas. Now you know what doesn't work. Now you know what's not going to build your dream. Now you know what's not going to move you into the direction you want to move in. Now you understand. But it took a long time to move that. Some people are very fortunate. They do it a few times and they're successful. They reach their dreams. Some people, it takes a lifetime. But you know, that person who takes a lifetime, when they get to that place where they feel like that's where they need to be, it didn't matter if it took them 60 years or they're 80 by now. They reached it and they're happy, and that's all that matters, and that's all that they wanted to do. So the dreams of the dream world, the dreams of the real world are important. They all have messages. So hopefully tonight I was able to share with you some ideas and some things that are helpful for you, because I know living in this 3D world, it can be a very difficult place for some of us. We have lost, we have grieved, we have loved, we have been angry, we have been all the feelings, the emotions that run through us. You know, all those things affect us and who we are. But those are also the things that mold us. Those are also the things that make us. Those are also the things that make us better and stronger. And we become better and stronger when we move into those directions. Never give up, never quit, never stop. Because when the moment you stop and you quit, it's just a break from the reality that you're trying to create for yourself. And you might have to redefine yourself several times. You may have to look at yourself and go, well, maybe I just need to do something a little different. Maybe I need to adjust something. Maybe it's just a tweak. Maybe you just need to bring somebody in the fold to help you see something a little bit differently. Maybe you just need to step this way and see something from a different angle. Maybe you need to step this way and see something from a different angle. Maybe you just need to get out of the way so things can develop. Sometimes we get ourselves in the way. We get our butt in the way. But this butt or that butt, depending what butt it is, we get our butt in the way. So move your butts out of the way. The physical butt or the butts that we use, but my butt's in the way. Stop pulling that anchor. Some of us have that anchor and it's really weighing us down. You know, anchors are meant to be pulled up and put back in. Anchors are also used to slow us down and put us in a place of parkness. Anchors aren't meant to hold us down forever. So today, I just want you guys to feel what you ever need to feel, express what you need to express, be who you have to be, dream what you want to dream, and interpret your dreams. And if you need more readings from me, just reach me at iggygarcia.com. My information's there. You want dream interpretation, iggygarcia.com, the same way. Get a hold of me. You want more to your read? Let me know. Just get a hold of me. All right, guys, we have a drum circle February 23rd at Ash Cave. That's from 11 to 4. Hopefully the weather's not too crazy. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys there. But that's all the time I have for today. I'm going to call it a night. And you know what, guys? You guys are awesome. And I really appreciate you being here and sharing with me and being with me. And I hope that the reads were important for you. I hope that it meant something to you. Maybe you have to work through it, interpret a little bit what that meant. If you need some help with it, let me know. But get your butt out of the way. Lift those anchors. Keep moving. Keep dreaming. Don't stop dreaming. Figure it out. Write it down. Move in the direction that best helps you. Peace and love. Ho'oponopono. Irisikwi. Have a good night. Be well. I will talk to everybody soon. Believe in yourself. Okay? It's good to be here. Remember that. Wake up and say it's good to be here. Because it is good to be here. Peace out, guys.